Hey, what's up, guys? And welcome to this live training session with me and Super Granny. And tonight we're going to be covering quite a few things. So if you don't know who we are, my name is Alan Branch. Of course, this is Olinda. And we've owned 4 commercial fitness facilities. We've been personal training for a very long time. We're now in the 30 plus years of personal training, and we've worked with literally thousands of clients, and now all over the country. We went online a couple years ago with our method, and what we do that's a little bit different is we can train anybody, but our target audience right now is more of people who are getting started, or they've worked out in the past and they were injured and now they can't do some of the things they used to could do, or they're just smarter and they've learned that, hey, this is an important thing to get my body in shape so that I can do things later on in life.
Definitely. And I mean, as you get older, lots of things start to go. Your balance, your strength, your muscle mass. And that's something that we need to maintain, because not only do we want to have a longer life, but we want it to have a quality of a longer life. So with that quality means independence, it means mobility, it means being able to keep up and do the things that you wanted to do or that you were able to do before. So that's really like what we try to focus on is, keep growing, keep getting better instead of falling apart as you get older.
And guys, we all see this. And we were talking about this a little bit earlier today, that people will spend money on or women, Olinda was talking about it, that they'll spend money on their hair, their nails, all types of beauty products. But when it comes to investing time and money into getting their body in shape, they're like, I don't want to pay for that. I'm like, guys, that's going to stay with you, right? So as you get older, it's not going to get better. So wherever you are now, if you're happy with where you are, your goal should be to sustain that. If you're not happy with you ache, you're carrying extra weight you want to get rid of, you don't have your confidence, you don't move as good as you used to. Hey, I look like this. One of my favorite analogies is we have 2 grandchildren with 1 on the way. So when I talk to people, I'll say, okay, let's say that we look down on the street and 100 yards away, our kids or grandkids are playing in the street. How fast can you get there to save them? If the answer is not very fast, we have work to do. But the good news is we can help. So what do you think is the most common thread with everybody? Like, what's the most common thing everybody wants to know that's watching our reels?
Well, the biggest thing is everybody's always, how do I lose weight? How do I lose weight? And so part of our program has to do with losing the weight, but it's not just about that. It's about the body as a whole. And like he was saying, people will spend money on their nails and their hair. Guys, you're going to spend that money anyways. You're either going to spend it now or you're going to spend it later on medication and on doctor bills and on hospital bills and all that kind of stuff. So it's spend it now or spend it later. Now it's going to be a lot cheaper, because later those medical bills are not going to be as cheap as buying a set of bands or investing some time into your strength training and stuff.
And spend it on good food, a good coach, and let's prevent some of these problems later on. So here's what we're going to do today. So first of all, have the discipline to finish the video. Stay with us. At the end of the video, I'm going to tell you what to do to comment. We're going to send you some free stuff, but you got to stay till the end to see what that's going to be. And we're going to cover a lot. And guys, I don't know how many of you know this, but about 8 weeks ago, we never really put our system out. We were pretty full with clients at that time, but Olinda started shooting some reels, and it went from 1,000 to 65,000 people on that page. And we literally get hundreds and hundreds of messages every single day. And out of all of those messages, there's common themes. People don't want to work. They don't want to invest any time into what they're doing. They want an easy fix. And we want you to understand, we can fix the weight loss, the loss of muscle mass, the ability to move. We can fix all that. But it takes a little bit of work. So let's get started on a couple things. Guys, we're going to board it out and we're going to let you take notes, write it down as we move along. So, Olinda, and guys, I had somebody message me earlier. There's an automation when you watch a video on our page, and it says, do you still need help? And it's from Olinda. And somebody said, no, I've already lost 40 pounds. I don't need any help. What's the problem there?
Well, if you've lost the weight, did you lose the muscle? I mean, 40 pounds, that's a lot of muscle, which you're not going to lose 40 pounds of muscle, but some of those 40 pounds are muscle. And that's what you don't want to lose, because when you lose that muscle, you lose that strength and mobility.
So for every 5 pounds you lose, so this is for the people that are on some type of weight loss, right? Oh, well, I've already lost weight. Listen to what we're telling you guys. This is what nobody's telling you. When you lose about 5 pounds of weight, up to a pound of that is lean muscle. So 10 pounds of muscle, 2 pounds. 40 pounds, 8 pounds of lean muscle. Here's why that's a problem. Your lean muscle not only is going to make you look different, not have the flabby skin and the bye-bye arms and those types of problems, it's going to drive your metabolism. So a lot of how many calories you burn when you're not working out is dictated by how much muscle mass you have. So if your concentration is just on losing weight, you are going to lose bad in the end of that. Great job on losing the weight, but learning how to not lose the muscle. So what's the cycle? It's how many times have you gained and lost the same 5 pounds? Think that one through. Most of us have gained and lost the same 5 pounds over and over. Well, if every time that happens, we lost a pound of muscle, especially between ages, say, 35 and 55, yikes, the metabolism is tanked. So let's get going on some of these and see how we can help. So when it comes to workouts, we should be jogging and doing cardio.
Actually, you want to be doing strength training first.
So strength is first. So
strength is first.
So why is that, Olinda?
When you're using your muscles in strength training, you're using your muscles, period, which means your heart rate is going to come up. So all that jogging is basically pounding on the muscles. What we want to do is we want to build and strengthen the muscles. So it's okay if you want to do that on the side, but you really, really, really need to concentrate on your strength. As you get older, not only do you lose strength, you lose balance. And I've worked with a lot of seniors, and what happens is you lose your strength, your bone density drops, then you lose your balance. So what happens? You fall down, you break a bone, you end up in the hospital, and then that is a vicious cycle of things happening and your body just deteriorating from there. And it all comes from strength. If you would have kept your strength up, with that strength, you have balance. With that strength, you have muscle mass. With that strength, your bone density goes up. And it can stop all that vicious cycle.
And guys, this is as simple as think like this, okay? Forbid an accident or something happens to you, okay? I'm talking about the regular person. What happened between the time they were up and doing stuff to the point where they could barely get out of a car? What happened from the time they were able to run and play with their kids to not being able to fit into a movie seat? What happened from the time you were young and robust and able to do stuff to can't get down, up and down off the floor? That stuff doesn't happen overnight. It happens with the gradual loss of lean muscle mass. So here's what we want to tell you. If you're over 40, the bridge is out. Stop. Stop doing cardio and stop sitting on the couch. You got to get up and strength train. If you don't, what you're headed for is a loss of muscle mass, a slow metabolism, and the inability to do the stuff that you want to do. And one thing about us being the age that we are, 57, 52, and still being able to do stuff, is now we're looking back at all of those people that didn't listen, wanted to do hardcore workouts, or didn't want to work out at all. And now you've got the walking wounded, the ones that wanted to train too hard, and then you've got the others that just can't do stuff. And we're trying to help you guys prevent that. That's very important to us. That is the mission. So we start that with strength. So with strength training, it can be body weight.
It can be body weight. And that's another thing. That's what a lot of people say. Well, I can't strength train. I've hurt my back. I've hurt my knees. I'm putting out reels left and right of what you can do if you can't do squats, what you can do if you can't do push-ups. Alternatives to everything, it's still going to build strength. So you can do body weight, you can do bands, you can do isometrics. There is a lot out there for those of you who are the walking wounded and injured, because you can't give up, you can't stop. We still got to get up every day, so you got to move.
And guys, and hey, make sure if you're watching that you take the time to say hello. I see lots of you guys coming through, see some questions in there, and I will go back and get those. What's up? Richard, guys, Christine, Deborah, what's up, guys? Glad you could join us. And so let's talk about a couple things. And when we talk walking wounded, we've known a lot of people in the past who were trainers or who are people who are in the fitness industry, and they are always about go hard, go hard, go hard. Well, now their shoulders, their knees, their hip, they limp. We don't want that for you. We want a controlled version of strength training that's going to do a couple of things. One, we need to build your strength for mobility. Two, we need to build your muscle mass for metabolism. Now, when it comes to bands, we are fans of bands because we just feel like they're a lot safer. What's your favorite thing about the bands?
I really like the fact that I can carry them around, so I take them wherever I go. And they're very cost effective, but the fact that I can throw them in a suitcase, throw them in the car, take them to the park, and have them laying around the house and just pick it up and use it is my favorite part, because I can always get a band workout if I don't have time for things. The grandkids got me running around, things like that. If I've got 5 or 10 minutes of freedom, I can do some squats, some presses with a band laying around and be okay. I don't have to go to the gym or anything like that.
So mobility, cost effective, versatility. You can do pretty much everything. So with our clients, guys, basically what we do, we have a custom app, and that is how we deliver our full program. So our full program, we use bands, dumbbells, and body weight. Everything is designed to be done at home. And what we do with our clients is they have a fresh new workout every single day that they follow, and it's progressive. So as they get better, the workout's going to get a little bit harder. If it's somebody starting out new, it starts out really easy, right? But the thing about the bands is you tend, if you go like something as simple as a press, and we're just as an example, if you control your movements and you do maybe 2 seconds up and 2 seconds down, and you start with a light resistance, and then if you're new, and then you build it slowly over time, your risk of injury versus cross training, boot camps, going into a gym where you don't really know what you're doing, is dramatically lower. So you want to start with something that's light and then progressively build it. So you were just showing in a reel some variations of the squats,
right?
Like wall sits and isometrics. So guys, there's ways to do it. It's just understanding how. So we want to give you some tips today, but if you want information on how we do it, then you comment, just comment info. And people who watch this video, we're going to send them something a little bit different, just for taking the time to watch. So
some of you are already in the app and the plan, and y'all just like listening to us because we like to repeat stuff. The more you know why you're doing something, the more you get disciplined to do it. And we've got people in there that, they say they want to listen to us every time just because it just reminds them why they're doing it and gets them more disciplined and gets them back on track.
That's an outstanding point. And some of the most successful clients we've ever had who've already lost all of their weight 2 or 3 years ago still attend coaching calls because It's all about what you retain. So another thing, if you want to know what kind of bands we use, and I put links in all these descriptions. There's a company called Clinch. We go clinchbands.com, clinchbands.com. We have a code. They're really nice guys, P4915, and you get bands. What we strongly recommend is a set. So there's a little tiny one. It's orange. Then there's a red. Then there's a black. Then there's a purple. Everybody should start with those 4 if possible, because you want the flexibility of being able to go from lighter to harder. It's clinchbands.com. So I see, yeah. So when you're doing, like, the difference is when you're learning how to do exercises, you've got to do things in a way where you can gain strength. So this is tough, right? But we want to give out as much content as we can. Olinda's working on it every single day. But you can't really put together a custom program by thumbing through reels. Like, you don't understand the right volume. How long do I go? Like, what's the right band to use? These are the things that our clients get because we're able to customize what they do. You know, trying to do it on your own is very, very tough. But strength is like our most important thing. Something else, and when we do this, we just discuss it because we want it to be an open discussion. I was thinking about this a little bit earlier. People are so caught up in all the Mickey Mouse things that go on about fitness. Well, should I walk this long, or should I do this, or should I do that? I'm going to do that little combo. I'm going to drink this herbal tea. I'm going to drink this protein shake. I'm going to drink egg whites. I'm going to do it. And why don't you just focus on getting stronger? Like, number 1, get stronger. Why? So you can do stuff. And the more stuff you can do, the more work we can do for strength. The stronger you get, the more muscle you have. Then we'll work on the diet. So don't get confused. Focus on simple things like your strength training. I saw a comment earlier, how many times do we recommend per week? Our clients strength train between 4 and 6 days a week. Now, 20 minutes or less, and we are balancing out the cycle for them so they don't overdo it and they don't underdo it. What do you have to say about that?
Well, and 2, everybody's different. I mean, people that have been doing it for years, you know, will want to do something every day. People who are just new to it aren't going to want to be able to, you know, they're going to need that rest, and they're not going to be able to go as long. So everybody is different to that. Also, we got a comment about not being able to get on the floor. There's lots of things you can do that you don't have to get on the floor. Like, I'll even tell people to get their ottoman out, and whenever I'm doing on the floor, just do it on the ottoman. That kind of stuff. You know, push-ups, you can't get down on the floor, do them on a countertop or do them on the wall. So there's modifications for everything if you just try. You just got to get that mindset, become disciplined, and say, I'm going to do it, and do it.
Yeah, and it's not motivation. There's no such thing as motivation. A common thing I get is I'm not motivated. No, you just haven't made a decision to do anything, and you don't have any discipline yet. All you do is make that choice, boom, you're good. That's what it takes, because motivation, what we refer to, is an emotion. So if you're riding high, you just watched a Rocky movie and you're feeling pumped up, maybe you want to do stuff. You know, you're sitting on the couch on a Friday night with a big pizza, maybe not so much motivated, right? So we want to make a conscious decision to follow some sort of plan. That's why you'll see our customers will always say things like, our hashtag is follow the plan, or they'll say follow the plan. They know. And guys, if you are part of the program and you're watching, put some comments in and let some of these other people know why it's so important to have an actual plan to follow. So part 1 is strength, body weight, bands, dumbbells, things you need to know. How often? It's going to depend on you. How much recovery? Kind of depends on you, but generally it's about 36 hours for a particular muscle group to fully recover. Everything kind of needs to be custom, but you need to focus on some sort of strength training. Again, you want to know how we do it, comment plan when this call is over, or info, and when the call is over, I'll reach out. So the next thing, Olinda, let's talk nutrition. So with nutrition, we center our plan around one word.
Protein.
So what are the best examples of protein?
Wow, you've got fish and you've got beef and steaks and ground beef and chicken and shrimp and pork chops and lots of stuff. There's lots of protein out there. And I mean, it's there for you. Of course, it's not just protein, but you want to get enough so while you're building muscle, then your body is able to sustain that because you have to have that protein. And what's in the protein is your amino acids. So, so we stay protein focused, but not just protein. We're not all keto, all paleo, all.
It's not a high protein.
Right.
It's adequate protein. So this is, and guys, if you're brand new, glad you can join us. Hopefully you can learn some stuff today. But think about this in fitness. Everything is to the extreme. High protein, low carb. Get your personal record. Like, I've got to do my absolute best. Do tons of cardio. Do no cardio. Do tons of strength training. Do no strength training. Walk 20,000 steps a day. Don't walk 20,000 steps. Everybody's on the extreme end.
Carnivore, vegan.
Carnivore, vegan. Everybody's on opposite sides of everything. Here's the deal. This is what we know. We know, regardless of where you think you're going to get the source from, if you don't get enough protein, which when you eat it, it breaks down into amino acids. There are 9 essential amino acids, which means your body can't make them. You have to eat them. So eat protein, goes down, digest, breaks into, there's going to be fats in there and vitamins and minerals, but we're talking for muscle growth. Amino acids, okay? Breaks down amino acids, body absorbs. You get the right amount of amino acids, you can maintain your muscle, you can grow muscle, you can recover a little better. That is your hair, nails, skin is all made up of amino acids. So we know that you need enough protein. We can argue over where the best place to get it from. We feel like animal-based protein is absolutely superior to vegetable sources. We love vegetables, but we do feel like this is superior. Now, protein focused means that every time you eat, that should be the first thing that you think about, because if you don't, and you go for bowl of ice cream, bowl of chips, bowl of strawberries, and you haven't gotten enough of this in the day, how are you going to maintain your muscle? Our goal is to have you agile, mobile, and able to do stuff. Well, without enough protein, it's not going to happen. So you need enough. So our clients are recommended and given a protein threshold. You need this much protein per meal, this many times a day to equal this. And we tell them what it is based on each person. Then we know first of all, they're getting enough amino acids. They have a higher satiety, which means they feel fuller longer, and they always lose more weight, and they're never hungry. Now, with the protein and the essential amino acids, you like to drink, you like the pills, and you like to drink them.
Right.
So we have an essential amino acid blend. We have 2 different companies that we like, and this is how you get your amino acids to optimize your protein intake. I put a link in this description just because I knew you guys would ask for it. It's amino, like amino acid, AMINO, aminofitness.com. That's a company called Body Health that has an amino acid supplement. We also have another one that tastes a little better if you like the powder. It's actually, I think the blends are very similar. One's a little different than the other. Don't want to put either one down. They're both awesome. But if you try aminofitness.com, it's going to take you to a site where you can see how you can drink amino acids and really help. So for you, what's your thoughts on the amino acids?
I personally like taking the pills, and I take them every morning, and that's basically my breakfast. I cannot eat the amount of protein that my body really needs because, especially in the summer, I'm just not that hungry, and it's hard with the heat for me to be able to eat that much meat. I do eat plenty of meat, but I just need more. So every morning when I get up, that's my breakfast is taking um, 2 servings of aminos, and then I get my workout in, and those help me through my workout also. So I have the aminos there for that I need for it, and then they also help me with my workout. But I mean, like he said, they help with your hair, they help with your nails, they help with your skin. I mean, the aminos aren't just the muscle. You need them, your whole body needs them for everything. So, I mean, it's a great supplement to have if you're going to have a supplement.
And somebody asked about, and guys, we appreciate the questions. Go ahead and ask whatever you want to know. And remember, stay till the end. We'll tell you how you can get something free that you're going to be able to use. What about protein bars and shakes? So here's the thing with that. Olinda, for example, Fairlife makes a great little protein shake. It's like 30 grams of protein, 150 calories. It's so low in calories that we drink them just to make sure we got enough protein. That's a lot different than drinking protein shakes that might be 250, 300, 400 calories with 12, 15, 20 extra carbs that you don't need that are still going to leave you hungry. So we don't really recommend a lot of protein shakes for that reason. Because why didn't you just eat? Just eat. Go eat 4 ounces of chicken anytime you're hungry. 4 to 5 ounces of fish. 4 to 5 ounces of beef. You'll get fuller. You'll have your protein intake. It'll break down into the right blend of essential amino acids. It's just a lot of reasons why. Now, let's say that you're in a pinch. You're not hungry, but you need some protein. First choice, I would go with amino acids. It's just a better blend, better for you. Absorption is like 99% versus 17% in a whey protein shake. It's not even close. But if you just love them, then do it. The amino is Amino Fitness, AMINO, aminofitness.com. That's where you go to get the amino acid Olinda is talking about. I saw the question. I don't know who typed that, but thank you, because it looks like it came from me, and I don't know how that came across. That's another one. That is Omino. That's the other company we were talking about. So we have 2 that we like. Omino Fitness is one, and Amino Fitness is the other. AMINO. So you have 2 choices. Both of them are great. This is the Fairlife shake Olinda was talking about. Okay, great stuff.
And this is what I usually like if I'm out taking care of my mom, doing stuff with the grandkids, and I haven't eaten in a few hours and I need to get my protein in. This is what I take because it's easy just to carry around, drink it real quick, and then keep going. But if I'm at home, I will have chicken, eggs, something like that. This is an on-the-go thing.
I'm freaked out at how that came across because that looks like it came from me, and I'm right here. Whoever typed that for me, let me know. Thank you, by the way. This is the Omino. That's the one that was just posted. I think this tastes a little better. One thing that I do like, it comes with a version that has caffeine and then another one that doesn't. It tastes a little better. Perfect Amino. This is what really got us started with amino acids, and it comes in a tablet or a powder form as well. Both of these are great companies. Price is very similar. We're fans. We have them both for that reason, because they're good products. So what do we got so far? So we got the fact that we know we need strength, and again, there are tons of ways to do this, right? I work with people that are power lifters, bodybuilders, CrossFitters. Like, there's tons of ways you can do the strength training. Our way is recommended at home, can be done in the gym, but it's slow progressive and designed to protect the joints. So we're trying to build the strength up, build movement and mobility, but seriously protect the joints. Because if you've got weight to lose, you're over age 40, the last thing you need to do is jump in something full power and hurt yourself. You can get stronger without that. And that's how we do it. So again, just to let you know, because I see a ton of people, we are streaming on multiple channels tonight. I can only see comments from one of those. So make them. I'll answer whatever I can. If I don't see it now, I'll do it later. But just put in info if you want to know about our plan. So we're talking strength. This is paramount when it comes to your workout. We're talking protein focused, not high protein, not excessive anything. We got to get the right amount. The next thing we want to talk about is what we call your baseline. Oh, Linda?
Well, that is doing some kind of activity. We're talking walking, swimming, biking, any kind of activity that keeps you moving. It's going to burn some calories and it's going to keep your body moving, keep that mobility going, help you use some of your agility and coordination, that kind of stuff.
But it needs to be daily.
Yes.
This is a daily baseline. Here's the thing. A lot of people will say, I have a slow metabolism. Okay? You're over 40. Your muscle mass is tanked. You're sitting more than you're moving. You can't move as well because you've lost your muscle, which is what tanked your metabolism, which is tanked because you lost your muscle. And now you can't move. So you're sitting around more. And this is a vicious little loop we got going on. Your metabolism is changing daily. So if your metabolism is the process of how your body burns energy, things you eat and drink, and the amount of burning that it does, then one day, if you had to walk a mile, you're going to burn a few more calories than you are on the next day if you did not have to walk a mile. So if you're going to calculate out how many calories you need, then don't you need to take into account how much activity you do? So if you don't have some sort of baseline, how are we supposed to get an idea of how many calories that you need? So your baseline is the minimum of what you can do. We like the steps. I like the 10,000 steps. It is a good number to shoot for. If it was 8,000 or 6,000, then okay. But we need something to go on. We need a baseline activity. We've actually created, I don't know if we put it in the app yet, but we actually created something called the Daily Dozen, which is something you could do in place of walking. So if I can't go for a walk, I can stand in my living room and do this very low impact sequence that we put together as your baseline. Anything you want to add on that?
Not really. I mean, that's just, like I said, it's going to help with your mobility and balance and just different things like that. So that's a good, important reason to use it because, again, that's the kind of things that we're losing as we age.
Okay, so what do we got so far, guys? And this is critical. Any questions you have about these things individually, please let us know. Strength, you need a couple of days a week, minimum. Okay, couple of days a week of strength training. You need the right recovery. You need the right exercises. You need to be able to customize those for you. One size does not fit all. Then you need to make sure you are protein focused. So that means you got to make sure that you are getting enough protein daily. Why is that? Because you need a certain amount of amino acids, which you get enough of that so that your muscles can grow, hair, nails, skin, everything stays as youthful as we can make it. Okay, protein focused. You can supplement that with amino acids, or you can just focus on eating really good proteins. Baseline. That is how we determine about how many calories we're burning daily, right? As active people that are more active can have a higher number of calories daily. Now, with that in mind, somebody's got to be wondering, what about cardio? Okay, so here's the thing. If you've got the time to put in some extra cardio work, Great. Then put some in. I don't think it burns as many calories as you think it does. And one issue that we have now, cardiovascular interval training is done for the heart, right? I ran wind sprints today. We were at the park over the weekend. We ran wind sprints. In the back, I have a air bike, which allows you to go probably the best piece of interval equipment in the world. And if you're interested in that, then let me know and I'll show you where you can get one. But it lets you go hard, right? For your heart. But one thing that I've noticed across the board for people that do cardio, it makes you hungry, man. So if you're going to go do 30 to 40 minutes of cardio, when you're done, you take a shower, you hit the air conditioner, it cools off. The next thing you want is food. Well, if you burn 300 or 400 calories during your cardio session, what are you going to eat that's less than 300 to 400 calories? You're not losing weight by doing cardio. Now you're building your endurance. It's better than not doing it. You are burning some calories, but if the focus is on strength, so we maximize our muscle mass, and then we focus on the right protein, then we're not eating wasteful, empty calories from junk food that isn't even food. And then we create a baseline, which could be considered your cardio. Now we've got a nice trifecta plan of how to get this going. And this is what we mean when we say follow the plan. This is just a part of it. Again, ask any questions that you have. If we see any that pertain to what we're talking about, we're going to try to answer those.
Real quick answer. One person asked about the amino supplement. Does not have sucralose. It has stevia, both of them. Both of those have stevia, not sucralose.
Great question, Deborah. Protein shakes and bars we covered. Okay, great. So any other questions on this? Please let us know. We're going to keep rolling. All right, so here's our trifecta of the beginning of a plan. This is 3 out of the 7 steps that we use in our program. So we're strength training to build lean muscle, to improve your mobility, to improve your metabolism, to improve the way your body burns sugar, how your clothes fit, how you get up out of the chair, out of the bed, everything, okay? Strength, body weight bands with dumbbells. Strong recommend on the bands and the dumbbells, but we like all 3. Protein focused. If you're not going to eat protein, what are you going to eat? Fruit? Okay, but very high in sugar. Vegetables? Great, but you're never going to get full. You can eat them all day. There's not enough protein. You're going to have to eat. You can't eat enough to get enough protein. Rice or pasta, flour, sugar, potatoes, high in carbs, high in calories, no protein. So here's the thing on nutrition. Guarantee you've never heard this before from any meal plan or any nutrition plan that you've ever heard of in your entire life. You've never heard this. Here's what a meal plan needs to do across the board. First, if you're trying to lose weight, you have to be in some sort of caloric deficit. That means calorie deficit. That means I must be burning more fuel than I am taking in. That's what we call a calorie deficit. So you have to have a calorie deficit. That's 1. 2, you have to get adequate protein, because if you don't, you back up to the beginning of the call, you're going to be one of those people that's losing weight and losing their lean muscle mass at the same time. You will not succeed if that is your plan. You've got to get adequate protein. Then the last one, you have to be sure that you're not in a vitamin or mineral deficiency. So if I can eat where I am in a caloric deficit, not too much, but a little bit, I'm getting adequate protein. Now I'm getting enough amino acids and I'm never hungry. And I'm getting enough vitamins and minerals. Well, that's something that's a pretty good trifecta plan for your nutrition. The question is which foods and how much, and that's what you learn in our plan. So make sure you comment info if you want to learn what that is. So with this, guys, this is sort of a structure of the things you need to work on. Now, I feel like things should be custom for each person. I feel like this is our way of saying The bridge is out. Stop. Listen. Or you might already be there. And if you are, we can help you. If you don't do it, then you will be like who we talk to every day. My knees hurt. My back hurts. I can't get up and down off the floor. I can't do this. I can't walk. I can't do this. I can't play with my grandkids. I can't do this. My back hurts. I can't do this. This is what we want to help people with. The thing is, we absolutely cannot help people that won't take action to do something. This needs to be the absolute priority for every human being. You should be able and trying to get as strong as you can, because this is the bottom line. Look at your current situation. Self-assess. If you don't fix it, where will you be in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 3 years? Where will you be? Because the problem of, it's called sarcopenia. This is the medical term for the gradual loss of muscle. It's going to get worse. It does not get better. So if you can't move now, what are you going to be like when it gets worse? So to me, the option is shift my focus to strength and protein, or the alternative is literally catastrophic. Can't get up, can't play with the kids, can't walk around, have no energy, barely get in and out of the car, can't work, can't survive a fall, or if forbid somebody attacked you or anything happened, you have no physical capability to protect or defend yourself. That's why this is first. It's because the strength should be the most important thing, and it's not taught that way, and it really needs to be, because you are doing yourself an immense disservice by not treating your body as good as you do your haircuts and making sure that this is being protected. There's a doctor online who's phenomenal, and Gabrielle Lyon is her name. She's incredible. And she did her residency at End of Life. And the percentage of people that she said have the last 10 to 20 years of their life are unable to do anything is like 90+% of the time it was because of the loss of muscle. So they lost so much muscle from bed rest, sitting, not enough protein, sedentary lifestyle, that they literally spend the rest of their life sitting because they don't have enough muscle to do anything. So guys, don't let that be you. Let us help. So Olinda, anything you want to add to this? Anything you want to add to this?
No, I mean, basically, that's the plan. You need to have that plan, follow it, and even if you can't be perfect every day, you have a goal and you have something to go by, and make it your goal. And we get up every morning. We go to work, and our motivation to go to work is we get a paycheck. Your motivation to do this is your paycheck that you're going to cash years later, and that's going to be being able to move and not being full of medication and having to wake up every morning and take 10 pills just so you can move around. I mean, there's a check you're going to cash later on by doing this.
And one thing that we there's lots of great programs out there. When we started this, there was one thing we knew we'd proven the program. For you guys that have not seen any of our clients or what we have done, these are just a few. There's 4 weeks. This is 26 pounds and 16 workouts done the right way. This is 5 weeks working with me one-on-one. These are more of our clients, what they were able to do in just a matter of weeks. This isn't months. This is weeks. The difference in how the body changes.
And it's not always a bunch of weight loss. because you're gaining muscle in the process, and as you gain muscle, your body changes.
And we know our program works, right? We know it's progressive. It works for people that are new and are trying to get started. The one thing that we wanted to give that's different is access to us. So I get messages all the time from people who are like, how much is your plan? I promise you, it's less than how much the average person spends on their nails or their hair or Netflix or coffee or soft drinks or fast food. It's less than all of those, okay? But the important thing is, I'll get that one. The important thing is to start out in a way that's progressive and then have access to a coach that can direct you. So my man Richard is on here tonight. Richard, I'll never forget this, guys. And Richard, you can back me up that this is a true story. So I don't remember where I was, but one day my phone rang. I answered my phone. And on the other end, it said, is this Alan Branch? And I said, yeah. And he's like, wow, I can't believe you just answered the phone. I'm like, what can I do for you? My name's Richard, calling from California, saw one of your YouTube videos, like the way you guys think, want to talk to you about our program. Richard, back me up. Is that the right version of that story? And I think that's been, I was pumping gas. So I didn't remember what I was, glad you remember, man. So never met Richard in person, but that's my man. He's been with us now probably over at least a year and a half or so. And one of the things he liked was that when he called me, I answered. Well, same for all of our clients. Like I had one this week that kind of fell off the wagon and said, look, if I get some help, I can get back on the wagon. No problem. Schedule a phone call. They can reach us directly. And that's what I like. So when you're with us, you're part of a community. So Project 49 is a massive community now of 100,000 people that are following different things that we do. And then we have a couple hundred that are working with us on our particular app, our training program. And that's who we work with individually. So what you're seeing tonight is kind of the what and the why. Hopefully you've learned sort of going over the board what you need to be doing. But in our program, we cover the how. Like, how do I get that 7 to 17 pounds off? How do I put this strength on? How do I really eat protein focused? Or, hey, what if I've got a bad back? How do I modify that? That's why when we talk to you, we want you to schedule with us because we need to know what you're going through so we can pick a program and scale it for you. And that's what we try to do. So,
one comment was about being 54 and if you can gain strength. Absolutely.
Yes.
Some people have told me that their doctor said, oh, I'm 70 and I can't gain muscle or strength. That is so wrong. My mom is 86 years old. I've got her in the gym. She started off on the leg press, probably 25 pounds. Today she did over 100. I mean, you can gain strength and she's 86. And it's totally changed her life because she can walk better, she feels better, she has her independence back, and that's how I have a lot of clients come in their 60s and 70s who are totally out of shape, start off slow, and little by little start gaining that strength, gaining the muscle, and with that comes the balance and the agility and the coordination and all that. So all that can be relearned, can be retaught, or can be remembered from your muscles.
And her mom is an excellent example. And look, there are some awesome coaches and trainers out there. Our strength is in being able to take it down to a very easy to understand level. If you're more advanced, we can help you too. But we like being the people that make it where you can understand it, right? Olinda's mom, literally, how long ago was it when she was really, really bad? She reached a point where she couldn't walk. She walked like this. She had to have a walker. Struggled to get up out of a chair.
Well, and then too, she got COVID, which really made her sick. So she was bedridden for an entire month, which right there lost a lot
of muscle from bed rest. So it makes you think, why is bed rest the number one recommended thing for every problem. And then with bed rest comes loss of muscle, which is the reason why you can't recover. So with a base, it's a cycle. So with 3 basic exercises, she went from unable to walk without a walker to driving to our house, getting out of the car, walking inside, sitting down and having dinner with the family, playing with the grandkids, walking back out, getting in her car, driving back home. And that's the difference that it can make. So Tanya, you absolutely can. You just need to start slow and then gradually build that up. Make sure you're getting enough protein, like we talked about earlier. Can definitely do that. And if you want some help, we're glad. We'd be honored to be the people that helped you do that.
But that's the thing. You have to start where you're at. You can't, go through reels and see an exercise and say, "Oh, I want to do that," and do it, because then you're going to get hurt. You have to start where you're at. You can't jump into things not knowing what you're doing and why you're doing it.
So about that, guys, if you've seen some of Linda's reels where she is discussing some of the things that are out there when you're doing this, you're scrolling, right? There are lots of cute exercises, and people have little dumbbells and they're going through little combos, and then the video will say, to look like this, do this. If it was that easy, it's just not, guys. It's not. Nobody looks like that because they did a particular exercise. This requires a series of events that are strength-based, and there are about 7 to 12 exercises we like to focus on. Not one, there's quite a few. Then getting the right nutrition and the right amount of protein to build that muscle. Then a good baseline, so you're burning some calories. And then there's other parts of this pie we haven't discussed yet. How we build extra core strength, flatten stomach, how we improve agility, how we burn more fat. I mean, there's other components. We just wanted to cover 3 that we thought would benefit you the most in a short, quick session. So we want to know, guys, I'm going to give you about a minute, and then I'm going to tell you where you can get something free that's going to help you out. Any other questions that you want to ask? Appreciate you guys that are in the program speaking up. Hey, look, if you're watching from YouTube or on our main Facebook page, I probably didn't see your comments or wasn't able to respond to those, but I will get to those later. But if you have any questions about anything on the program, thank you. Bam. Awesome. And crazy how consistent at showing up for coaching calls to keep learning. And guys, I'll tell you the same. I probably spend an hour and a half a day trying to make sure that I'm caught up with. I don't want there to be anything out there that I can't relay to you. And so I try to take information from some of the best there are in the world, and then I want to break it down to where the average person can digest it in bite-sized chunks and understand it. And I want to be the one that helps you have that moment where you go, "Oh yeah, I get it now." That's what we want people to do. So, all right. So I think we're going to wrap it up there, guys. Thanks for watching. Here's what I want you to do. We've got if you're not in our program, again, just comment info. We'll shoot you over some details. But for everybody tonight, if you are in the program, make sure you have this. If you don't, ask for it. We have a protein graphic that we created. And on that protein graphic, it shows you 9 of the top protein sources that you can consume. And then it tells you how many calories and how much protein is in a 4, 6, 8, and 10 ounce serving. It's an awesome guide just to be able to glance at and go, "Oh man, I'm having salmon. That's how much I'm going to have tonight." And it gives you an idea of how many calories you're going to get. So just comment the protein graphic down below. And what I'll do is in Messenger, I'll shoot you over this graphic, and it'll be something you can look at that you can use to help you understand how much protein you are getting. So Olinda, you want to come say bye? So guys, again, thanks for joining us. We are located in Wilmington, North Carolina. Again, we've owned 4 commercial fitness facilities. And again, we've trained quite a few people now. We live on the coast of North Carolina. We have 2 grandsons. We have 2 children, one in Charlotte, my son, my daughter's here. We have 2 grandchildren and one due October 15th of this year, 2023, on the way. And this is what we do. So we're happy to help. And great, guys. Awesome.
Also, I wanted to say thank you guys for sharing our reels, watching our reels, commenting on our reels, and please continue to do so because I really have fun doing it. And I really enjoy the comments where people say, I did this or I tried it and that kind of thing. So thank you for that.
And you guys that aren't in the program, you know, please do us a favor so that Olinda can spend all of this time making these reels. Go through, watch them. Always hit the love button. You can send stars on Facebook. You can share it, and all of these things that you do just expand our audience so we can share more information with more people everywhere. So now we've got people watching from like India. The other night, I'd never heard of the Yap Island in Micronesia. Never heard of that. We got people from Germany, the UK, or all over the world reaching out to us, and they like that idea, that process of explaining things simple so it's easy to understand. That's what we're going to keep doing. All right, guys. So we'll see you next time. If you have any questions, just ask them down below. We'll get to them later. Comment info if you want to know more. And if you need bands or amino acids, we've got the description in the link down below, written into the body of this, aminofitness.com. AMINO is where you go to check them out. And if you need help with dosage or what type to get or anything like that, we're always here. See you next time.